Hey everybody, Doug here from 2 Plus Stuff, and today I am doing something a little bit different. So, many of you know I was hired to do a series of ads for a game called Legendary Kingdoms. This was like a little over a year ago. They had their first book come out, and I basically did a pre-recorded play of me just sitting down. It's kind of like a choose-your-own-adventure thing, but it is a solo role-playing game. You do have dice, you do have stats and characters and stories that involve all of them. And so when I put that video out as a review, a couple of folks had asked, well, why didn't you just do it with us? Basically just play the game alongside folks. And so that is actually the plan I'm going to do today. So I have printed out the demo that you get, basically a free sample of their newest book that's coming out, The Shattered Isles, or Splintered Isles. I'm sorry, I keep getting those words interchanged. And so what I'm going to be doing today is just playing it, and I'm going to walk through it as if I'd never played one of their games before. If you're not familiar with it, I do have a link in the description down below so you can check out the first book. The second one got delayed with some printing errors, but I'll throw this up on screen here for you. Legendary Kingdoms by Spider-Mind Games. And it's essentially just a really, really large book that is choose your own adventure, but for... I'm going to say for adults, not like in a cringy sex way, but more of like, it's Game of Thrones, but choose your own adventure, which is really cool. Characters have specific backstories and stuff like that so that they can have character arcs and all these kinds of things. That's what we're going to be doing today, and what we're going to be doing as we play the game, I'm going to narrate, obviously, the scenes, and then whenever it comes to a decision, if one is not immediately obvious based on the characters that we have with us, I will leave it up to the chat. Go ahead and tell us what we should be doing, and we will collectively get this sucker done. Now, what I have also on this screen are some maps. So, their first game was Valley of Bones, which was taking place here in this city called Stalstad. You wake up as a slave, and basically you can carry characters from game to game. I'm going to start fresh because I want to, and let's just learn how to do this together. If you have any questions at any point, please do not hesitate to throw them in the chat. Like I said, just for the sake of using this footage for when I do my full review, I will share all the info, how to do it, walk through it, all that kind of stuff. So let's see, I'm just getting my screen set up, so apologies for the delay. And we'll go to the downward cam. So here's everything you need. The book, which obviously I went ahead and printed off just for the sake of showing you guys the demo that they give you. The demo consists of like roughly like an eighth of the story, but it's enough to get you trained into how to use the system. So it does its purpose well. We have our character sheet. We're going to pick 4 of the 6 characters they have here and record everything that they have, their stats and all that. And along with this, it's a series of codes. How do these work? Well, if you are adventuring, let's say you find a key, the game will tell you, record that you have C55. Then later, when you come to a situation where there's, say, a locked door, it says, if you have, and it gives you the code number, you can then open the door. So it's just a way of keeping track of what pathways you've unlocked. It's also a consequence system. So if you've made a decision that has consequences, those might take the form of, hey, if you have this code, XYZ happens. So let's see. Oh, for some reason I turned on subscribers only. That doesn't sound like me. Hold on one sec. Give me just a moment here. I'm just trying to... Oh, here we go. Anyone. There we go. And now I will open the chat again. Pop out the chat. Gosh, I wish I was off work. Have a good stream. Oh, buddy, it's alright. It's alright. I'll do these again if you like them. We could do it again with the Valley of Bones thing, too, if you'd like. Oh, it looks like YouTube froze. Give me just 1 sec, y'all. Okay. Okay, we are back. I apologize for that. So we have our character sheets, how that all works, we explained. And this one has an added thing that I don't know how to use called Your Fleet. That didn't exist in the other one because there weren't ships. So here we go. The adventure begins. Welcome to Legendary Kingdoms, a fantasy adventure game book where you take the party of adventurers into a dangerous and adventure-filled land. Early in your career, you will simply attempt to survive in a world of peril, but as you become more famous and powerful, your actions will determine the fates of empires. Legendary Kingdoms is a series of books, with each book covering a different area of the world. You keep the same party of adventurers throughout, improving in skill and power, discovering new lands and curious civilizations. At any time, you can leave one book and go to another simply by traveling off the edge of the map, or flying, sailing, whatever you want to do. Your party members all have their own stories to tell, including romances, settling old scores, and quests for enlightenment. You can play these books in any way you choose, as simple travelers exploring strange ruins and wonderful cities, as revolutionaries determined to overthrow tyranny, or as crusaders against a dark and lurking threat. Before you're beginning a game, you must select a party of adventurers and learn a few rules about the skill checks of combat. After that, turn to reference 1 to begin your adventure. Good luck, and may Saint Elias watch over you. Things you're going to need: pencil, dice. That's pretty much it. We got those. Your party. You must select a group of 4 adventurers to explore the Legendary Kingdoms. These adventurers are called party members, and each has their own backstory and set of abilities. You can select any 4 party members, but it is wise to have a balance of different skills in your party. If you only select the fiercest fighters, you might struggle when it comes to sneaking around or charming people. Once you have selected your party members, you should note down their skills and abilities on the adventure sheet provided, which there's a link to an extra one, but we have the one that came with this. Lord Tiquan and Amelia Pasdane can cast spells, which makes up for their poor skills and health scores. You can read the rules on spells a little later on. Easy peasy. So now, chat, I see there's 11 of us viewing. I need your help. So we have 6 options for potential characters, okay? And I'm just going to throw this out there because I did put a bunch of keyword stuff. If you are a comic book fan, this is the same guy who did the original Judge Dredd, which is neat. So, looking at our characters here, we have, I'm going to go from left to right, Sar Jessica Dane. Her bio. She's a firstborn knight of Royce. Her father, Baron Baldwin Dane, is an ambitious contender for the rulership of Longport Bay, an important county. She's a powerful warrior of impeccable, noble blood, but she has received little love or affection since the death of her mother when Jessica was a girl. She is due to inherit the barony in preference to her younger brother, Ridley, but has clashed with her father in recent years, putting her inheritance in doubt. Sar Jessica hopes to become a rich and important woman in her own right before confronting her father at Fosterley Castle. Okay, so I don't think Fosterley Castle will be a part of this particular expansion, but so she's kind of our knight. Okay. Then we have Lord Tiquan, is a classically chained sorcerer from Drake Hallow. Thanks to his family's wealth, he has been able to learn his craft in the halls of the Animus Mast, the premier academy for mages in the world. His knowledge is vast, learnt from library stacks and obscure scrolls, and his ambition is as great as his knowledge. Though at the beginning of his journey in the arts of magic, Tiquan shows great promise, he is handicapped somewhat by a lack of empathy, although his rich and regal voice makes up for his curtness. If he can find additional sums for more tutelage, he desires to return to Animus Mass to unlock yet greater secrets of sorcery. So we got a pretty sweet sorcerer who's kind of a douche. Sounds like trying to raise some money. I appreciate it. Next we have Tasha. Tasha is a buccaneer from the Splintered Isles, which is our setting now, and a little more than an outright thief. She is born to the sails, and her family lived on ships and in coastal taverns for generations. Tasha has stolen and squandered great fortunes in her time. Her extravagance and her love of a pretty face has meant she seldom held on to money very long. Most recently, she was ripped off by her lover, Catherine of Middenmarch, a country girl who's apprenticed to Tasha before betraying her mistress and selling her off to slavery. That's where we meet her in the first book. Getting even with the bumptious pirate is foremost on Tasha's mind. So it seems like she's going to have a relevant plot story here, so I kind of want Tasha as one of our 4. Next we have Amelia Passdane. As you can see, they are related. Amelia is the half-sister of Jessica and grew up with her in Fosterley Castle. Her mother was a forester who took Amelia away from the castle when it became obvious that Baron Baldwin, her father, would take no interest in the girl. Since maturity, Amelia has lived in the wild forest of the Savage Lands, learning earth magic from the druids of that isolated place. Though slender, she has become a rugged survivor who can live off the land and fight off wild beasts. Her magic is instinctive and much mocked by the more scholarly wizards, but it is no less potent for all that. Amelia dreams of becoming a full-circle druid, but knows she must learn much before returning home to the Savage Lands. Okay, and then we have Akiro of Chalice, who is a character I took before. He's pretty cool. Akiro is a brooding young man from the Valley of Bones, who was banished from his city when he failed in his training to become a Kensei, a sword saint of Chalice. A superb swordsman, Akiro is his own worst enemy. He tortures himself over his failure to balance his mind and body. Since that time, Akiro has become an adept survivor, able to find water in the driest deserts, food in the emptiest wilderness. Though he tells himself he has given up, he longs in his heart to return to Chalice and attempt the tests again. Perhaps it is time for Akiro to emerge from the wilderness and restore his own and his family's honor. Alright, and the last character is Brash. Brash was born in Royce in the Duchy of Pendulor. He was a pot washer in Vasthall, the stately home of Duchess Eleanor Mountel, but unwisely engaged in a love triangle with her and King Francis Goldwell, fleeing before he could be hung. Brash has since lived on his wits, traveling the world to escape the king's agents. He can talk his way out of almost anything, and his ability to escape danger is second to none. One day, Brash will need to sort out the mess he's left behind in Vasthall, but not until he has gained a little worldly experience. Okay. So that's our archetypes we're working with here, everybody. If you are following along, we have 6 characters. We have to pick 4. I'm going to say right up top, I want Tasha, because she looks like she has plot points in this area. I also want Brash, because I want a smooth talker when I'm surrounded by pirates, but now I need some muscle. I'm going to say Akiro, because I need someone whose morals are flexible. Cody Griffin, yeah, we're playing a single-player role-playing game, and it's quite a bit of fun. And I don't know why it's so grainy on the screen there. Maybe it's just buffering for me. Regardless, we're playing this out, and I need one more character. So chat, if you wouldn't mind deciding, I'm going to give you some archetypes, okay? We have Wizard, like Sorcerer, an Earth Mage, so like a Druid, and a Knight. Go ahead and choose one of those 3 for me. Sorcerer, Druid, Knight. Sorcerer, Druid, Knight. I'll wait a second here for you. Or I can roll a d3 if I don't get an answer back here in a little bit, but Cody says Knight, and you know what? Who speaks the loudest gets it. Okay, so we have Amelia Pastain. No, wait. Yeah, she's the Knight. Okay. They have the same last name because they're half-sisters, and I was like, what? Okay, so now we have our fighters. So let me just go over here. Need a tank. Druid for magic. Druid. I guess I don't have any magic at all if I choose her, do I? That's a solid point. We're gonna use Akiro as our tank, and we're gonna go with the druid just so I can demonstrate. Sorry, Cody. We're gonna go ahead and demonstrate the magic system here. I think that makes a lot of sense. Cool. Okay, well we can just toss this page. Later, losers. Okay, so I'm just gonna transfer this over real stinking fast. In the meantime, I'm going to talk about skill checks and stuff. So they have everyone has a list of skills. There's fighting, stealth, lore, survival, and charisma. I think they're all fairly self-explanatory. Lore just being your knowledge of the arcane, religious, or historical facts. So that's kind of a broad catch-all. Usually the values of your skills don't change very much. However, you might be sometimes told to improve or reduce skills during your adventures. There is no maximum skill score, but no skill can drop below 0. Makes perfect sense. Skill checks. You will often be asked to make skill checks if you want to accomplish something difficult. An extra example of a skill check: sneak past the goblin. Team check. Skill and DC. Stealth on the 4 up. Success required 4. Okay. There are 2 types of skill checks. Individual checks that mean you must choose a single party member to pass the check. Like if one person is doing an action. Team checks allow you to choose 2 party members to combine their skills to pass 1 check. So if we're all trying to do a thing, we can contribute. I like that. The skill checks will tell you what the skill being used in question is. The skill and DC section of the pick. So if you're using a stealth skill to sneak past the goblin, okay, yeah, so skill and DC requires a stealth skill on a 4 up. To make a skill check, roll a number of dice equal to the skill being checked. For a team check, you can combine the skill dice from 2 characters. For every die that is equal to or greater than the DC of the check, you gain 1 success. Okay. Success is required 4, so this would mean we take 2 party members, combine their skills of stealth, roll that many dice. We need at least, they succeeded on a 4 up, and we need 4 4-ups to pass. Boom, there we go. Any questions? The group has spoken. Thank you guys. So let's do this. We'll put Tasha up top. And I'm going to be reviewing their stats and kind of giving my thoughts on them as we go, just to kind of fill in here. Her fighting skill is 4, and they're going to have items and stuff like that that modify it, so that's why there's a modified thing. Stealth 7, so she's sneaky. Doesn't know a whole lot. Survival 4, charisma 4, health, she's got 10. She's not wearing any armor at the moment. Sweet. Okay. And then over here we have, I'm just going to put Amelia. Pastain. And she has a fighting skill of 4, so she's on par with our little buccaneer. Stealth of 3. Lore of 4, okay, a little better. Survival 4. Charisma 2. And 8, nothing there. Let's go to our other ones. Okay, so we've got Sneaky. Oh, and she's a spellcaster. And we'll walk through how to choose spells and stuff like that in a sec. Akiro. And I'll just put Brash. Okay, Akiro is going to be our main fighter guy. He has a fighting skill of 5, stealth of 4, so he's at least on par. Lore 3, survival of 7. So okay, hopefully if we're in a bad situation, survival helps you forage in the wilderness, navigate forests, and climb mountains. Okay, well let's keep an eye out for any of that. Health, he has a solid 10 health. Okay. And then for Barash, he is our charisma boy, so he has a fighting skill of 3, stealth of 5, that's not bad. Lore 4, survival 2, charisma 7, and also has 10 health. Okay. Neat. So I will put these over to the side. and we'll keep on moving through our game setup. Now, once you have the characters set up, this is all very, very quick. Let's see. All right, got a fun little bot here. Okay. So let's see. No matter how high you score, you cannot roll more than 20 dice for a single check. Oh, of course. Each party member has a number of health points, which determine how many each damage they can take. This number is likely to go up and down. Sometimes you can increase how much health they have. If ever drops to 0, then they are dead. There is no way back from death. The party member is lost forever. Usually you can take any equipment you wish from a dead party member unless a book specifically tells you otherwise. So this game does have permadeath. Good to know. Good to know. Oh, man. So let's see. Combat. When a fight happens, your entire party works together to defeat your foes. When you get into a fight, you will be presented with a list of opponents, and you must defeat in combat. The opponent list will look something like this, and so it has Goblin and Orc Bodyguard. It gives you an attack, a defense, and health. Your party always strikes first in combat. Choose a party member to go first, then select an opponent from the list to attack. Roll a number of dice equal to the party member's fighting score. Okay. So fighting, let's say Akiro, he rolls 5 dice. If the party member has no weapon, reduce the fighting score by 1. To inflict damage, your dice rolls must equal or exceed the defense score of the opponent. Okay. For each die that does this, you inflict 1 point of health damage. Any opponents reduced to 0 are defeated. So, defense score. Okay. For example, Tasha, with a fighting score of 3, wants to attack a goblin with a defense score 4 up. She rolls 3 dice, because she has a fighting score of 3, comes to 2, 4, and 5. She scores 2 hits, and the goblin loses 2 health. Perfect. Makes perfect sense. Let's see. An orc warrior has an attack value of 6 on a 4 up. This means he's going to roll 6 dice, needs 4 or more to score a hit back at one of us. Starting with the first opponent on the list, make an attack with each opponent in order. If they score any hits, decide which party member has been hit and reduce their health by that means. Okay, so we're just going to basically we'll walk through role-playing game-wise how this all works, who's attacking who and stuff. If your party members are wearing armor, they can attempt to reduce the health damage they take in combat. Roll a number of dice equal to that party member's armor score, or equal to the amount of damage they've taken, whichever is less. For every 4, 5, or 6, you can reduce the damage. Okay, so it's like a 4-up ward, basically, that we would know from all kinds of stuff, from Age of Sigmar, 40k, all kind of stuff. Instead of making an attack, you can do a spell. Some enemies are so fierce that a portion of their attacks are unstoppable. You will see this displayed in bold like this. +2 auto. In this case, I'm going to come back to this later. It's just this for like super extreme things. But basically it just, whatever the final hits are, you add certain numbers to it. It's like a modifier. We got different kinds of spells. You can hold a maximum of 6 spells if your spell book is full. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, there's our spell list. Each of your party members can carry a maximum of 10 items. Items that you can take during the adventure will be listed in bold. You can pass items between your party members at any time except during combat or when making a skill check. Many items you will give your item and bonuses. Okay, so this is as we accrue items and stuff like that. You pretty much start with nothing. Yeah, okay, it's just telling you to, if you lose things, it's going to change your modifiers as well as bonuses. And money, silver coins is the standard. Okay. spell list for starting characters. So I believe we get to choose one spell for our druid. So we're going to put this here as... we have everything from a healing spell to wolf spirit. You summon the spirit of a wolf to help guide you from danger. Cast this spell if you fail a survival check. I'm not worried about survival checks. We have a hero here. What do you think a druid would fight with, you guys? We got 8 viewers still. Who would the druid fight with? Our options are they can empower somebody else with armor, shoot an ice bolt, a poison stream, which sounds kind of rad. Sounds kind of like nature-y. Soothing touch, where basically you can heal people. Magic missile, basically. Unfailing strike. A pillar of energy sizzles into the single foe. They lose 3 health. And you can summon the wolf spirit. Oh, I already did that one. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Oh, and then there's one where you can access like a larger inventory. Hey, hey! That's nice. Everyone loves spam. Hi. Truly sorry, boss. Left to stay. Have to go repair a pool crack underwater. Oh, it's all good, man. One-eyed gamer. Hey, hey. I'll tell you what. So I'm losing. Let's go with the poison stream. I like that. In a game with permadeath, healing is good. That's a good point. John, I see that Cody got outvoted last time, so we'll take his opinion this time. Okay, we are ready, friends. Let us begin. Start at 1. Ship boards creak as they are pounded by the relentless waves of the soul-gale straits. A single ship's lamp illuminates the hold, dank and smelly with human bodies. Chains rattle, and nearby Roycian sailors heave again. His dark vomit splashing the deck, his comrades twisting in their bonds to avoid the foul stream. The pirates haven't checked on you for hours. 80 prisoners crushed together like a fish catch. Some dying, some ill, all afraid. How did it come to this? You glance at your companions. At least you have all regained consciousness now, but still, you list in your change, fighting concussions. You fought back to back as the rest of the crew fell, but surrounded and outnumbered, nets were hurled upon you by vicious pirates before you were clubbed unconscious. Since then, you have been here, in the hold of the old Carrack the Tenebrous, prisoners or slaves of the sea and terrible brigands. Your equipment and money have been stolen, and now you're being taken somewhere. At first, you thought you were being taken north to the dark port of Dosis to be sold in a brutal colony of Drake Shallow. Instead, the ship follows the currents deeper west into the straits. Where are you going, and what will be your fate? Turn to 99. It's way easier to do in the printed version because then you have the bookmarks and you can just bookmark certain things. Light bursts open as the hatch above the ladder is swung open. Men and women from across the sea, dressed in leather and cotton, sabers hung at their belts, slide down the ladder, one gripping a bright lantern. She shines the lantern into your grimacing face. All clear, Lin Kang, she spits through yellowed teeth. A great bald man of Drake Hallow slides down, tall and scarred, a curved falcon upon his back. He steps forward and grasps one of the prisoners' faces. Back up, he snarls, thrusting the poor man to the back wall as his chains clinking as he shoved. He gazed up at the hatch expectantly. Another man, in a great weather coat, leaps down. His descent through the air is weirdly slow, but he still lands heavily. 6.5 feet tall, the Roycian man sports an elegant beard and cold blue eyes which seem to glow in the lantern light. There's something wrong with his face. His forehead looks burnt and his eyebrows look diabolically curved. "A decent catch, Captain Briar," crackles the woman with the lantern. "They should survive the work longer than the last batch." "Watch your wittering, Maud," grows the captain. His bright eyes casting across the prisoners. "No loose talk here. They'll do. Keep them at Mortlock until I send word. There's no swamping the site with dying men. There's no point swamping the site with dying men." The captain spins on his heel to leave, his coat briefly parting as he turns. You catch sight of several tiny imp-like creatures clinging to his body. His torso is unclothed beneath his coat, and his flesh looks red raw from bites. "Captain August Pryor," calls out of a deep, commanding voice. You twist your head and look upon the Talzian man, pulling against his chains. His sister is chained beside him, no less happy to be in the chain than he. Yes, I know you, Captain Pryor. I am the Suzerain's man, Captain Pryor, and you are a buccaneer of Thalzia. It is forbidden for you to enslave or imprison the men of Thalzia by virtue of your letter Marquis. You are a servant of Thalzia, and I demand you release my sister and I at once. Captain Pryor freezes in place throughout the man's speech. At its conclusion, he slowly turns and approaches him. Raise his hand, caress the Thalzian man's cheek. His hand is skinless and wet. Long and sinister tendons project from the back of his wrist to slither bloody tracks across the prisoner's cheeks. "I serve a new master now, Teo," he says softly. Suddenly, Captain Pryor's jaw descended hideously, and a blast of blue-white jet light emanated from his throat. The light encompassed Teo, and the tall Thalzian screams in pain. His sister rips at her chains, howling in anger, and by the time the lights lifted, Teo is a tattered skeleton, stretched over with shriveled dark skin. The dead man's sister writhes in her chains, uttering a dreadful curse and threatening revenge. "Don't grieve me, woman," growls the terrible captain. "His death was quick, much quicker than yours will be." At that, Captain Pryor climbs out of the hold, and his men follow him to the sounds of sobbing Thalzians. Holy smokes, okay. That was quite an intro to our captain here. 116 says... You sail for many days, trapped in the stinking hold. One evening, a terrible storm rips across the sea, sending the boat bobbing like a tossed cork. The solitary lantern that sheds light on the hold of the ship and is only the quick thinking of the my printer kind of gaffed a little bit, who stamps out the split flames to save the ship. In the darkness of the hold, you learn the names and stories of your fellow slaves. The sister of Teo, the murdered man, is called Labiki. She hails from the capital city of the islands, and her rage at Captain Pryor has not diminished. She is a counselor of the Suzerain, lead citizen of Thalzia who speaks for his people in international affairs. She and her brother were sailing back from Castris, West Splints, when they were intercepted by pirates. "We must find a way out of our chains," growls Lavici. "The Suzerains must be informed of Pryor's treachery." A young man named Marcello, a sailor from Pendulor, asks the question everyone wants answered. "What kind of a man is that captain?" he whispers. "He seems more monstrous than man. I know you Thalzians are fond of your privateers, but surely even you wouldn't employ such a creature." "He's changed," admits Labici. Perhaps he has become a sorcerer, or a dark evil from the desolation he has claimed? I don't care. He must pay for his crimes against my brother and against our people." "That could be easier said than done," you caution, "but it sounds like we are being taken somewhere. A prison of some sort? That means they will have to unchain us at some point during the transfer." "Aye, but we should be careful," warns Marcello. "They'd expect us to make a break for it. We should wait until they are least expecting it and then make it out." then make our play to escape. A sudden lurch in the ship causes you to swing in your chains. Roars, orders, and the sound of stamping feet from the deck above resound in the hull. A heavy clank of long chain rumbles through the hull. The anchor's down. Wherever we were bound, we're here. Okay. Oh. Hey, what's up, dude? And then it told me to go to 8. It needs to jump into the actual game part here. Okay, now we have decisions to make at the end of this part here. Oh, roll with me, everybody. Sure enough, half an hour later, the hatch swung open again. Half a dozen pirates come sliding down the ladder, their growls and grumbles almost drowned out by cries and seagulls circling the ship. No funny business or we'll stick ya, threatens Maud, jangling the keys to your chains. A pair of Longport prisoners are released first, and forced to climb the ladder to the deck, where they're hauled up by another pair of pirates above. Once those prisoners are safely moved to the deck, Maud approaches you. 2 members of your party, you choose which 2, are unlocked from their chains, and you are shoved towards the ladder and ordered to climb. There are 6 pirates in the hold, and at least 2 above you. Here's our decision point, friends. Will you punch Maud and try to snatch the keys, or climb the ladder as instructed? I'll let it sit here for just a second. So, to recap, we've been captured by pirates. We're seeing some weird unnatural magics and stuff going down. And we are now saying, hey, do we want to fight immediately and try to get the keys? We can pick which 2 fighters from our 4 are involved in that scuffle, or do we just play along for right now? Punch! One-Eye Gamer says punch. Okay. We're going to punch Maud. Go to 47. Violence is always the answer. 47. Maud is ready for such a rash action and blocks your punch with her forearm. I guess we should choose which characters did that. So I'm going to say Akiro and Brash, the 2 more aggressive personalities in this situation. Because Tasha would know how they all went down, and Amelia wouldn't probably do that. Get 'em, boy, she yells, and in a moment you are leapt upon by 6 burly pirates. In such close quarters, with your limbs weakened from the chains, you stand no chance. Both of your chosen party members lose 2 health points as they are savagely beaten. Oh, poor Akiro. Enough, boys, grins the yellow-toothed Maud. I think they've learned their lessons now. Get up. Any more rough and tumble, and you go overboard in a knotted sack. Got it? You do not deign to reply, but sullenly make your way to the ladder. You clamber up the ladder, towards a blazing blue sky. You are helped the last few feet by muscly pirates standing on either side of the hatch, who grab your arms and haul you to the deck by the armpits. The pirates of the Cosmopolitan crew of Roycians, Valleymen, and the men of Drakehallow are all business this morning. They're lining up the prisoners and binding their hands with rope as they emerge in dribs and drabs from the hold. Ahead of you lies a gorgeous tropical island surrounded by white sand and blue sea. A rich forest of segmented trees covers the land, from which a score of red and blue birds chitter and swoop. You see Li Kang striding about the ship, barking orders, but there's no sign of Captain Pryor, or his feared great ship, the Fury. Perhaps he has sailed on to other conquests. You are being bound in a hurry. With almost 80 prisoners to process, the pirates are tying your hands quickly. Thinking fast, you attempt to cross your wrists in such a way as it will create a gap for the knots. Each party member can attempt the following skill check. So, weaken your binding. It's an individual check. It's a stealth check, and it requires 3 successes. So let's grab let's grab our dice tray here. We got to make one for each of them. So Tasha, stealth check. She has 7. I actually only have 6 dice here. Actually, do I have more? I do have more dice. Cool. And so she is looking for a 4-up. She needs 3 of them. 1, 2. Dang, that's not good. That's not off to a good start when my sneakiest person can't pass. Next is Amelia. She's doing a stealth check. Nope. Akiro, he gets 4. Because his stealth is 4. Nope. And Brash, he gets 5. One of them. Okay, so Brash is the only one who's untied. I'm just marking him there. On a success, note that this party member has loose binds. On a failure, the party member's hands are bound tightly and it's unlikely you will get free without help. Once all of your prisoners are on deck and bound, you are escorted in groups of 10 to the jolly boats for transport to shore. Fortunately, your entire party are transferred in a single group on one boat, along with Labici and Marcello, who were chained up near you. There are still 4 armed pirates in the boat, making escape seem difficult. John Crew, that could have gone better. Yeah. However, they do seem rather distracted. Why haven't they come out to meet us? Growls one, gazing along the shoreline. I thought Li Kang used to use the blue smoke. It was 2 miles to the camp. Maybe they're still on their way. Took an hour to get the slaves ready. They had time. No, something's up. During the distraction, each party member with loose binds can loosen the binds of another member. Either a fellow party member or Labici or Marcello. The jolly boat is now about halfway between the island and the ship. So here's our options. Will you attempt to overpower the pirate crew, which means you have to have at least one person who has loose binds, or bide your time and make it to the island? During this distraction, each party member with loose binds can loosen the binds of one other member. So, Brash can unbind one other person. You can do the other 3 people in this party, or Labici and Marcello, 2 other prisoners who I'm assuming will be important to the plot later. Brash is already unbound. I would think... What do you guys think? Who should it be? We have our thief, we have a druid, and sort of like a warrior type. I'm thinking the warrior type if we want to overpower. Even though these guys were the ones who caused trouble last time, I'm thinking I'm going to do that. But I need your guys' help. Do we try to beat them? So now we have 2 fighters undone. Do we try to overthrow them in the boat, or do we wait for a better moment? Remember, we were impetuous last time. Just throwing it out there. I guess the circumstances are a bit different. I'll wait for an answer. One-eyed gamer wants to wait. Let's wait. Bide your time brings us back to 32. Waiting for the right moment to backstab. Yes. The pirates beach their boat, ordering you at the point of the saber. The sand is warm on your bare feet. Your boots were all taken along with your other valuables, and you gaze at the wall of trees just ahead of you. A single trail runs through the woodlands, and imminently you are commanded forwards, plunging into the forest with 2 pirates at the head and 2 behind. The pirates seem on edge. It's clear that they were expecting someone to meet them, but no one from their camp has joined them. The forest is heavy with the moisture, and soon your foreheads are speckled with sweat. Eventually, your column comes to a split in the trail, and the pirates give a loud curse. "Which way is it now? Damn Borka. Where the hell is he?" swears one. "Calm yourself. The island's no more than a league on each side. We'll find the camp," assures his friend, although uncertainty weighs heavy in his voice. The left path looks the most used. Come on. The pirates look nervous as you make your way down the trail, your feet now muddy from the soft ground. Suddenly, a pirate ahead of you gives a great cry. He has become stuck in the mud and is sinking. He cannot free himself. "Suckin' sand," spits his companion, scrabbling away. "Everyone back." "Damn you, Willie Freeman, get me out. Help me, damn you," cries the desperate, sinking pirate. "Sorry, Bill. You're done for. No hard feelings," replies Freeman as Bill sinks to his waist. It's a terrible sight to watch a man truly be drawn to his own death. Here's our decision time. Will you volunteer to save the pirate? We have to choose a party member to do this. Or do you remain quiet? Decision time. If it wouldn't be so annoying, I would create a poll for all these questions. But it would be really annoying in the feed. Do we save the pirate or not? That is the question. One-Eyed Gamer took the last one. One-Eyed Gamer says save. Do we have any other different opinions? I know what I would do. Give it just one more second. 3, 2, 1. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and you have to choose who's going to save him. So I'm going to go with Tasha because she is a pirate of their ilk, would probably know. So let's go with Tasha here. Let's try and save the guy. Choose a party member, Tasha, and turn to 22. You cannot watch the man die. By the gods, I'll get him if you won't, you snap. Untie me. You think we're simpletons? Laughed Willie. Damn it, Willie, let them try. Willie seems to search his conscience for a few moments before reluctantly untying your hands. Nice, so now she's unbound. We got 3 of our party unbound now without them knowing. Any funny business and I'll stick you friends. Got it? You take a rope that was binding you, a length of just 3.5 feet. Give me some more rope, you command, straightening at the length. And untie the rest of your friends? No chance, cries Willie. That's all you're getting. Trying to rescue the pirate with such short length of rope will be extremely dangerous. So do you try to rescue Bill with what you have? Or shout now and try to drive the pirates into the quicksand? Oh, I see. So our decisions are, do I rescue the pirate or do we spring the trap now that we have 3 of our people free? Ooh, that's a tough one. Do we spring the trap or save the pirate? And One-Eyed Gamer, you got to pick the last 2. Let's look for somebody else. What do we think? Rescue Bill or shout now and drive the pirates into the quicksand. At this point, we have 3 of our members free. So it would be a 3 versus 3 fight, if I'm not mistaken. There was 2 pirates in front, 2 in back, 1 fell in the quicksand. So we still have 3 to deal with, but at least it's a fair fight. Alright, quicksand. So driving them into the quicksand, let's do it. Let's be aggressive. We were patient for a time. Turn to 129. You're back in the game, buddy. I just want to make sure everyone has a chance because I know some people will see and respond faster. Oh my gosh. Here we go. 129. It's now or never. One pirate is incapacitated and you've just had your hands untied. You leap to wrap the rope around Willie Freeman's neck and toss him into the quicksand. That's badass. You just hope that enough of your party are able to help you with the rest of the pirates. Only party members with loose binds may contribute to this skill check. Okay, so here we go. We're doing a team check now. Overpower the pirates. Team check, so I can pick 2 fighters. We need fighting skill. So that's obviously going to be Akiro here and Tasha. We get to combine their scores. So that's going to be a sum total of a 9. So 3, 6, 9. Get the rest of these out of here. So yeah, we're doing a fighting skill check. So we combine their fighting score. She has a score of 4. He has a score of 5. That's 9 dice. To pass the test, we need 4-ups, and the number of successes required is 5. So let's hopefully this goes better than last time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There it is. We have successfully passed the ambush skill check. And just to give you a sense of what the system is like, there's a special thing here. It says special. If you have loosened Labici's binds, gain 2 automatic successes. If you loosened Marcello's, gain 1 automatic success. So that's a cool idea. Remember, we had the option to free our party members or these 2 other characters. And this is the thing that's repeated in these books, is you can have decisions that aren't necessarily related to your character sheet that have consequences later on. If you succeed, turn to 105. Next one. All right. Willie Friedman ends up head down in the sinking sand, whilst the rest of the pirates are overpowered. Even those prisoners whose hands are tied help to sit upon the downed pirates, who are overwhelmed through sheer numbers. You untie all the prisoners and steal the pirates' weapons. You may now cross off any loose bind notes on your adventure sheet. Okay, so let's get rid of... I did mark them a little bit. Up to 2 party members may carry a saber. Poor Bill, unassisted, has wailed his last and submerged into the thick mud. You are left with the problem of what to do with the captured pirates. Okay, so let's pause here. We're taking their weapons, so up to 2 party members may take a saber. I think Akiro should get one. So he has a +1 modifier to his fighting. And who else should get that? I'm thinking Tasha. She has the next highest fighting score. So let's do that. She's also a pirate. Why not? You're left with the problem of what to do with the other captured pirates. Let's cut their throats, snarls Labici, grasping one's head and pulling it back. We can't kill helpless men, cries Marcello. They'll slow us down, warns Labici. Besides, if we escaped, they might too, and I doubt they'd show us the same mercy as Marcello. So here's our question for the group. Will you keep the pirates as prisoners, or tie up the pirates to leave them here, or slay them? So it's actually a good swath of options. Keep them with you as prisoners, tie them to trees, or just outright kill them. I will leave it to the group to decide the fate of the pirates. I like that we're starting to get equipment and weapons and stuff like that. I think that's rad. I don't feel in danger enough to have to use my like once a day spell to heal anything yet. It heals 5, so yeah, I'm not in a huge rush to do that. One-Eyed Gamer says keep them. You mean keep them as prisoners? Okay. What would that be? Will you keep the pirates as prisoners? 72. They're our prisoners now. Nice. Okay, we got an agreement, an accord. So 72. Here we go. Weird that it spit out a... My printer must have jammed up and spit out a blank page right in the middle. We'll keep them. Having hostages could be useful, you say firmly, binding the pirate's hands. They'll be more trouble than they're worth, sulks Labici, releasing her hold on the pirate's head. I hope you know what you're doing. Gain the code C2. Again, like I told you, the second you start unlocking things, this is going to come up later. This is how they do their consequence system. With the pirates now bound and in tow, you slip off the path and make your way into the trees. Turn to 42. I do feel like we jumped into combat faster in the other one, but that might be just my false memory. You wander through the woods for several hours. Occasionally you find a small stream to refresh yourselves, and you wade through the waters to hide your trail from other pursuers. In time, you come to an area cleared of wildland. A small, rough shanty town has been constructed here out of the island wood. Several large buildings with barred windows are clustered together, along with watchtowers, an open smithy, and smoking houses for fish and meat. The place smells bad, and you can see that the inhabitants have been supporting themselves by consuming the local wildlife, at least after a fashion. Grotesque trophies of rotting boar heads are impaled on wooden spikes, along with decaying bodies of island dogs and hunting cats. Hundreds have been slain, and it's clear the pirates must have waged a campaign of total extermination of every mammal on Mortlock Island with that their spears and arrows could harm. There seems to be no rhyme or reason to the killings. Was it mere sport? Pigs lie unbutchered in decomposing piles, and flies swarm thick around the entire encampment. There's no sign of any human life. What savagery happened here? Murmurs Labici. Why have the pirates killed so many? Debauchery, says Marcello. With no laws to govern them, the men would be worse than beasts. They killed because they could. If you have the code C5, I do not. Right, we got C2 from that. So turn to 27. Where are the people? The other prisoners the pirates captured? Asked Marcello. This is supposed to be a prison colony. Are they dead or did they flee? We'd best look around, you say. Everyone stay close. Here's our options, friends. Oh, I'm glad you're having fun, buddy. I am too. You know, it's not my usual thing, but I'm having a good time. I really do enjoy these games. This is a product that's easy to support. So we have 4 options. Okay, I'm going to lay them out for us. Everyone get ready to type in. We come into this town, we see everything slaughtered, but not like usual. It's just wanton killing. There's like food that could have been eaten still left out and rotting. There's just bodies, pigs that haven't been butchered, just dead. We could explore the prison block, examine the butchery shed, check out the outdoor smithy, and find the pirate's residence. I'm just going to throw it out there. Maybe visiting the smithy wouldn't be a bad idea since 2 of our 4 party members have any kind of equipment. That's typically what I would think of if I was in that scenario. Be like, I need to arm myself because something super messed up is happening. However, there's a very good, compelling arguments to visit the pirate's residence, the prison block, because I mean, prison block would also have items that would be of interest in there. Plus, there might be survivors. You know, this might be an executive decision one. Smithy, we need gear. Yes, I'm glad everyone. I feel like that's the obvious choice, but you know, there's room for everything. 146. Oh, that's like way towards the back, isn't it? If you have code C7, which we don't, also keep in mind the codes go from book to book, so we may have gotten something in another location that would have mattered here. So like, they are all connected, and the more that you play and explore the worlds, the more of those kinds of cool things you'll get. The smithy is surprisingly well equipped. Bars of good quality steel sit in a strong box by an anvil and mold. Hammers and tongs still sit on the racks. Any party member may take a single hammer, fighting +0 if they wish. So the reason that matters, everyone is going to get at least a hammer, but the reason that that's important is because if you fight unhanded, your fighting skill goes down by 1, so it at least, even though it doesn't increase it, it gets rid of the negative effects. Searching through a box of broken weapons, you come across an iron great axe with a small chip in it, and a suit of chain armor that is damaged on one side. Given your predicament, you don't intend to be fussy. Gain the code C7. Okay. So let's see. I'm gonna give... the axe to Brash. So, I mean, the +2 modifier brings him to being a competent fighter, right? I mean, Tasha has a saber, she's on 5s, now he's on 5s. And somebody gets to wear armor. A suit of chain armor. Armor +2. I think Brash or Akiro make the most sense. Let's give it to Akiro. He's still going to be our front man. All right. Yeah, I know. I'm with you, Matt. Of like, probably the smithy, but also I wasn't expecting the other one to be an option. I think, you know, unless you want to die in a terrible horror movie style, you don't start with the butcher shop. Oh my gosh. Pleased with your finds, you ponder your next move. Turn to 74. Now, this is a thing that this book does quite frequently. Or this game system, is it'll have like central locations where you can explore from specific places. And so where will you explore now? We could explore the prisoner block, examine the butcher shed, check out the outdoor smithy again, find the pirate's residence, and you can only leave if you have the C6 code. Now what's interesting, and I'm just going to do this to show it off, okay? When we were at the smithy, we gained the code C7. So if we were to like, hey, I want to go right back to the smithy, we'll go to the smithy thing. If you have code C7, turn to 56. And let's do that real quick, just for the sake of showing you what happens if you go back to places. You briefly check the smithy again in case you missed anything. However, all remaining weapons in your box are broken beyond use. Shrugging, you turn your way back out. So then it brings us back to here. And then this is how the system works, is it dumps you into decision-making cycles. We have One-Eyed Gamer wants to go check on the prison block. I'm just going to cross off the smithy because we thoroughly explored it. Let's go to 62. Oh, actually, I forgot to mention, she does have a hammer. We got her a hammer from anyone who didn't have a weapon from the smithy. Okay. Stepping cautiously through the stinking village, you soon arrive at a pair of prison blocks. They are stoutly built, and the iron workings in the windows and doors look strong. The doors are wide open, and you step inside expecting the worst. However, although the conditions were obviously unsanitary, there are no bodies of prisoners here and little signs of violence. Checking the other prison blocks reveals the same. And indeed, it becomes obvious that the prisoners managed to let themselves out by breaking down the door from inside. Since such an operation would have been very noisy, it suggests the pirates were absent when the door was forced. Heartened to at least think that someone have survived, you consider what to do next, and it drops us off back in that same system. Now keep in mind, this might be for the most part where it drops us off, but next we can look at the butcher shed or the pirate's residence. I'm going to go check out the butcher shed. That's an executive decision. That sounds like a fantastic restaurant in Texas. 53 is what I'm looking for. Okay. Butchers, yes. Me and Tom are on the same page here. If you have code C6, we don't. Read on. The smell around the butchery shed is appalling, and it is here that the flies are thickest. Although all the tools for proper butchery, including carving knives, skinning blades, and bone saws are present, it seems that they have been used merely to mutilate dead animals. A terrible collection of dead pigs, dogs, and hunting cats lie not only dead, but sawn up into pieces, with heads and limbs separated on every animal. What can explain such ghastly dismemberment? You also discover your first human bodies, lying indiscriminately and in pieces amongst the pile. From their dress and tattooed skin, they look to be pirates or sailors, and their missing limbs have been torn rather than cut away. Dangling over a nearby railing is a suit of barbaric armor. Armor +1, survivor +1, that's awesome. Made of the hides of multiple animals, crudely stitched together with the thick threads. It has a fearsome appearance and smell, and it's unlikely you could ever sell it. However, in your current, desperate circumstances, you might consider wearing it. The simple signpost has been hammered into the ground not far from the corpses. Scrawled in white paint are the words, "The animals are crazy. Look out. We've gone to the shrine at the top of the hill. Come armed." Did the prisoners or the pirates write this? We gain code C6. A shout warned from Labici puts you on guard. Several dogs' legs are being dragged across the ground by an invisible force. They latch onto the body of a boar, which begins to lumber up headless. And to your horror, a pirate head begins to roll across the ground towards the body. This is it's like a weird flesh creature that came up all in bits and pieces. If you had code C5, turn to 123. If not, read on. Transfixed with terror, you watch as the head hops into the boar's shoulder. The bizarre amalgam of human and animal flesh unleashes a dreadful rattling roar and charges at you. Okay, so now we got to do some combat here. We always start combat. I guess I do have the ability to give that armor to somebody, and that's going to matter. That did happen before this. Brash is our kind of barbaric looking guy. I'm going to give him the armor. So that's +1 armor and then +1 survival. Okay, now we're gonna punch some nerd cow gore demon thing. So I'm going to start off with probably our best fighter, and that's going to be Akira. So he is going to get 6 dice total at the moment. And he is looking for anything above a 4. Wow. Where the heck was this roll earlier? So that is going to be 6 damage onto our beast, but he has 18 health, it says. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Shoot, dang. Now the beast gets to attack. He gets 6 attacks. Okay, so that's the same right back at me. And he hits me on a 4-up. Here's a question for you, chat. Which C code did we get from the pirates? C7. We didn't, yeah, I'll bring it up as we have them, but yeah. So before I roll this, who is the beast attacking? We do have to choose. Obviously, I could DM it and choose for us. But Akiro just took a chunk out of it. I could see it going for either Brash, who's wearing the barbarian armor that was hanging all blood-soaked in the same room. Tasha looks like another pirate, and Amelia, our druid, probably the least defended, is what I'm going to say, in terms of survivability. So if it's preying upon the weakest, it would probably be her. First answer wins. The tastiest? Who would be the... I feel like Brash would be the tastiest. Because he's already got that, like, dead, rotting flesh and stuff. Whoever argued against killing the pirates. Whoever argued against killing the pirates. We don't need morals around here. That's a fair one. I'm going to say it was probably Tasha. Well, no. Amelia would be the one to argue because she is our nice person. Okay, so we have... He needs 4-ups on his successes, so he got 2 wounds in on her. I'm just keeping count like that. And now we get to choose again. So our next fighter is going to be... We'll do Brash, so he gets 5 attacks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Again, looking for 4-ups to get past the defense of this one. Man, I'm rolling hot on these heroes. That's 4 more damage. 3, 4. Still has 8 wounds left. Now the beast will get to attack again. And again, that's how this happens. It's just a constant back and forth. 6 attacks. I'm going to say for at least 1 more swing, he's still targeting Amelia. Three more damage. 1, 2, 3. So she needs to get out of there. Or we need to kill this thing. Our next best attacks are going to be... Oh, wait. We don't need morals around here. I like that. 2 more damage coming in from Tasha. Now, if you're playing this in a group setting, which totally does work, even though it's built to be solo, I'm not ready for her to die yet. I know there is permadeath, but I want to demonstrate something, because I haven't gotten her to do magic yet. That's probably what I should have done last time. So let's say Tasha stabs him in the back of the leg, and he turns away from Amelia and lashes out at her. I think that's a completely reasonable thing. And it's also the beauty of a solo RPG. And he hits her for 4 wounds, which is not an insurmountable sum. So now that all of... Okay, we still have Amelia. She's going to do a healing spell on herself. So let's go. To our spell list here. Give me 1 sec. Let me just find it. Okay, it just happens. So you get it once per day. Choose 1 character, they heal 5 points. Yes, she's gonna heal herself after she got viciously mauled. And from there it goes back to our beastie. So that was Amelia's action. And then it reverts back over again. So we're just taking turns with it. Now, what's cool is, if this is one monster, it's one big monster. If there was multiple, then we would actually do their list in order. And I think that's kind of a cool idea. He's just going to do 1 wound on his focus on Tasha. But now we get to swing with Boss Hog Akiro again. Who's going to roll 6 dice. Hitting as hard as the monster itself. Only does 2 more wounds. So we need to do 4 more total. Monster, he smacked Tasha. 2 of these are pretty much out of action. I mean, she's busy healing herself. Tasha got thrown around. Let's say he goes after Brash. Actually, I'll randomize it. Evens is Akiro, odds is Brash. Evens, Akiro. Okay. Gets 1 through, so Akira takes 1 wound. Brash is going to fight him back now. Again, so we just do the combat all over again. So I'm choosing to do them in the same order to keep my wits about me, but it doesn't have to be. And let's see, I think 4 is exactly what we needed. 1, 2, 3, 5, 10, 15, 18, and it is dead. I've never seen a solo RPG. It's like an interactive choose your own adventure. It's cool. Yeah, it is really cool. It is cool. And it's like $30 for several hours of entertainment. This is just the free entry thing. If you manage to slay the terrible foe, go to 91. Let me just get myself reorganized here. 91. You stagger back from the body of the terrible monster. So why is this whole area been... So this is why this whole area has been abandoned. Gain the code C5. So we have almost all the codes. Warily looking at the enormous pile of corpses, you back away from the butchery shed and in fear of attracting more attention. You go back to 74. And here we are. Okay, so we have now checked the butcher shed, the prisoner block, and the smithy. We have 2 options. We found the note inside the butcher block telling us where the pirates went. So we could leave the village because we secured code C6, or before we leave, we can check out the pirates' residence. Let's just go ahead and play this all out. Well, we'll explore everything before we go face what we know will be more enemies. So 114. I would. I mean, if the town was all abandoned and I realized everyone was gone, I'd be like, heck yeah, dude, let's go do some looting. We don't have C8, so the pirates' residence is somewhat better than the prisoners, though not by much. They have, at least, favored their building with larger windows and have given themselves sleeping pallets to rest upon. A separate room at the back appears to be for the leader, and this features an actual bed, desk, and a set of drawers. The room has been well looted, or at least emptied in a hurry. 5 silver coins lie across on the floor. So we got 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Obviously the remnants of a more hasty collection. Picking them up does lead to a pleasing discovery, however. A pair of soft boots, stealth +1, are hidden under the bed and have escaped previous notice. Gain the code C8. Okay, so we can give a pair of stealth boots to somebody. I'm going to give them... Sorry, soft boots. I always like maximizing what characters do best and then going back and filling in the blanks later. Okay, and that brings us all the way again to 74. So now, having a Hoarder Simulator... Exactly. Yes, exactly right. This is how I play every role-playing game. It's why people are going to hate when I fully go back into my... what is it? Morrowind. Leave the village. Only if you have the code C6, which we got from the notification on the Troll's Den thing. It seems clear that survivors on the island have retreated to its highest point, a hill where some kind of shrine is located. If you can recruit enough people, you might be able to get a big enough force to challenge Li Kuang, or if possible, steal his ship. The island has several low peaks, but you guess that the one the prisoners meant was the closest. It looks to be the tallest from the village anyway. Plunging back into the woodlands, the birds cawing like high-pitched crows, you make good progress in the remaining daylight. Eventually, you arrive at a gulch. The soft earth has been worn away by the running stream below, creating a gap some 10 to 15 feet deep. Crossing the gulch is a simple rope bridge. You're not sure it could hold the weight of everyone, but crossing one at a time should be safe. On the other hand, the climb down to the stream isn't too bad. You could just ford it and climb up the other side. "Do you hear that?" says Marcello. You listen hard. "What?" you ask. "The birds. They've stopped singing," he says. "Evening is upon us," said Labici. "They go to their nests." No, I don't think that's it," mutters Marcello. "We need to move quickly." Will you attempt to cross the bridge, meaning one at a time? Do you drop into the small gulch to climb up the other side, or do you try to find another way around? What do you guys think? Cross the bridge, I'm assuming, like I said, one at a time. We all go into the ditch, a 10 to 15 foot deep ditch, which is not insignificant, but it is crossable. Or do we try to find some other way? Fording seems much too safe and easy. It's a trap. That's the thing. It's a really nasty position to go downward into a ditch when you think there might be enemies around. I also wouldn't want to, there's a clear path. They said they were going there, so it's not like... I don't know. I still think... What would I do? What would I actually do? Right, we're role-playing. I think that I would just cross the bridge. They all seem really bad at this point. Yeah, no joke. I'm just going to cross the bridge. I think, based on what the characters know so far, knowing that there's a hill that could be it and it's a clear path, I think it makes perfect sense. They'd be like, oh yeah, this is the way we get there. 98. Okay. Marcello has put you on edge. How will you cross the bridge? Have one person cross at a time to minimize the stress on the bridge, or cross in groups of 3. It's riskier, but a lot faster. I mean, he has me on edge, but he hasn't said anything that's like imminent danger, so I think one at a time. It's what I would do. I'm taking the reins here because I'm they're important decisions, and I'm sure it's really cool to have all the different options, but yeah. Okay, you quickly organize an order to cross the bridge. Decide what order your party is crossing. In other words, who's the first, the second, the third, and the fourth. I'm gonna go... Akiro would go first, because he is our survivalist and warrior. I'm gonna say Tasha second, because she's the person who probably knows the most about pirate crap. Amelia goes third because she wants to be in the center, and Brash goes fourth to bring up the party's end, to rear guard, basically. Once you've decided, turn to 13. Your first party member crosses the bridge with a minimum of fuss. The bridge rocks slightly but holds their weight well. Crossing to the far side, they beckon the next party member forwards. Midway across, you become aware of a strange howling, a gargling moan like a wolf crying out its last under a huntsman's lance. The birds, as one, desert the trees around, and noisy splashing sound comes from downstream. Your second party member is only a third of the way across along the bridge. You can either, so this is what? Your second party member is a third of the way. Tasha, who's our pirate and our thief, she can either turn back quickly or dash across the bridge. I think she would dash because that would leave Akiro by himself, and I don't think that I think if anybody, she wants to be near him. Splitting the party, nothing goes bad here. Exactly. I'm going to say she rushes forward. I like that. You put your head down and dash. You can't leave a single member of your team stranded on the far side. The conjoined leap at the bridge, tearing at its ropes and planks. You'll have to jump at the last 7 feet. Only the party member crossing the bridge may make this check. So she's trying to make a survival check. Survival skill of 4. So she has a skill of 4. How many successes required? 3. So we have failed the dash to the other side of the bridge. If you fail, turn to 29. You jump short and end up dangling by your arms on the edge of the gulch. Before anyone can help you, a panther-headed conjoined, that's the name of the monster we were fighting earlier, leaps for you, sinking its teeth deep into your side and dragging you into the stream below. That party member loses 2 points of health. Oh god, she's only down to 3 already. They will be dead in moments if you don't do something. As one, the rest of your party and the prisoners leap into the gulch with a splash, weapons drawn, roaring to distract the conjoined. Mud, water, and blood churn as the battle is joined. Go to 65. Hey, Alabaster Knights, we are playing Legendary Kingdoms. It is a game over by Spider-Mind Games. It's a single-player role-playing game that I'm doing along with folks, and I'll talk more about it here at the end. You prepare to fight the terrible conjoined. So these are smaller than the other ones, but they do give me a chance to show off combat in general. Special. The other prisoners will assist you in this fight. They inflict 4 points of damage at the end of your turn, which can be divided amongst the conjoined. If your party has been split up on different sides of the bridge, the prisoners cannot inflict damage on any conjoined who might be fighting party members on the far side. Okay, so let's kind of like, use some imagination. Let's draw this out. So we have our 2 cliffs, and the bridge fell apart. We have Akiro and Tasha. We're on this side. Tasha actually got hurt and was pulled down. And then we have Amelia and Brash. And then prisoners. We get to start all combats. And so let's decide. I'm going to say... I'm going to give all these a number. 1, 2, 3, 4. And let's say... 1, 2, 3, 4. That's how we're going to split this up. So when I end my turn. Okay, so that's how we're sitting with how everyone got split up in terms of... I drew this out myself. I just made this up. but it's how I'm visualizing this attack. So, Akiro needs to basically get in and try to protect Tasha. So he's going to jump in with his 6 dice. And he has a defense of 4, so that was a good roll. So we're looking for 4-ups. We got 4 of them. So the stag head conjoined suffers 4 wounds. Now, when we're playing with multiple opponents, we have to determine who they're fighting. And I'm going to say the stag guy here, he's going to be the one that's fighting back against Akiro, because it was the other character who took down Tasha. So he's going to get 5 attacks, swinging at Akiro. And he is looking for 4s to succeed. He's got 3, so Akiro is going to take 3 damage. 2, 3, okay. Now we have Tasha, who... what is she gonna do? Probably gonna swing at whatever the heck was just trying to kill her, right? Which we said was the man-arm conjoin that pulled her down. So she's gonna grab 5 dice. Only 2 successes. Not good, girl. Luckily, that same character sucks at attacking her. However, 2, 3. And with that, we have our first casualty. Tasha is out. We have lost somebody. Permadeath does exist. Okay, I just got off work. Can I have a recap of what's happened? Yeah, we awoke on a pirate ship as prisoners, broke free. We found a pirate town, like a slave town on an island. It was completely empty. The slaves were all missing, and a bunch of the pirates seemed dead. We fought a weird gore monster there, and now we're fighting a whole bunch here as we tried to cross a stream. We just had one of our 4 characters perma-die, and that's a bummer. That's just a real bummer. Let's see. So wait, that was Akira went, then a monster, Tasha, then that guy. So now we got... let's do Amelia now. She's going to be rolling 4 dice. She's going to attack the savage conjoined right in front of her. She actually nails all 4 of them. That same monster will attack her right back. So he's got 5. Lands 3 onto her. 1, 2, 3. And... oh, then Brash. Yes, Brash has 5 dice. He will join in attacking the thing that's attacking Amelia. So we're trying to actually kill a thing. Oh! And boy, Brash rolls fire and insta-kills the savage conjoined. At that point... oh wait, no, my turn's not done yet because the last guy still has to fight. The tusked conjoined rolls 4 dice. Looking for 4s. He's got 3. Let's say he's attacking Brash. And now, the other prisoners do 4 automatic damage to closest, basically. So it's going to be this guy. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. Now we just got Akiro over here. Because again, we always start with the initiative. He is now attacking the stag-headed conjoined. Only doing 1 wound. Not good, bud. That same monster goes right back at him. Doing 4 wounds on Akiro. Oh, that should be 10. He has 10 health total. I started counting them differently with little check marks. So he's only got 2 wounds left. The man arm conjoined. Does 3. That's okay. This will be a good time to pop out anyway because our party is getting wiped. We just had Akiro as well. And I'm getting spam bots. Nice. That's a bummer. I hate those stupid bots. Okay. Let's finish out this fight, though. Let's see what's going on. Next we have... Let's see, that was that one. So we're back to Amelia. Let's see. She's going to attack the tusked conjoined over on her side, getting 3 hits. That same monster is going to swing back at her. Getting all 4. Good God. She's almost dead now, too. We're headed towards a whole party wipe here. So he's got 5 skills. Going into that same, the tusked conjoined. For 2. Yep, and the party's done, so then the other prisoners activate. I get 4 wounds to dish out, so 1, 2, so that 4th one's dead. Cool. 3, 4. Two plus after party is not until later. Common. Is there something like this for a Warhammer? Nope. Not that I've seen, which is... They're missing out. So let's just see if there is a total party wipe. Let's see. Staghead goes again. He's got 5 dice. Attacking Akiro, who's got wound... no, he's dead. Never mind. Attacking... who? Brash. Let's see, armor. Nope. He gets an armor save. So that's 3. So it does not kill him by any stretch. But they're like seriously wounded. I'm gonna have Brash, because now all the creatures would be over there anyway, because there's no one else alive on the other side of the river. So he's going to attack. I guess I'll go for the big stag. Does 3 to the big stag. 2, 3. Oh, still has a wound left. So that was his attack. Now it's the man-armed conjoined attacking Amelia. That's always been his target. Does nothing. Now it's Amelia's turn. 4 dice. All into the stag head. Yes, okay, so the biggest, baddest threat is gone. And then that reverts to the end of my turn, whereas the prisoners do 4 wounds, so 2, So I need to do 3 now. So let's get brash. And it's going to be 4. Just enough. Just enough. 5. Yeah, bring it to 10. So, 2 of our characters survive. Holy Lord. If you win, turn to 117. Exhausted from battle, you regroup together and make your way across. Evening has drawn in. Feeling tired out, you press on. Turn to 12. I'm not sure why you had to send me all the way back to Oblivion for that little message, but alright. You scale the hillside, which begins to slope sharply upwards. As you rise high above the tree line, you spy the Tenebris, the pirate ship that brought you to Mortlock Island. She has berthed herself in a natural harbor, the setting sun blood red behind her. You can see the pirates have split from the ship, and you set up camp along the beach. A simple stockade has been built along the shore, where you think you can see the remaining 70 or so prisoners she was keeping in her hold. Li Qiang has obviously arrived in force to find out what has happened to his compatriots on the island, but at least it looks like he's not going to begin his search tonight. Eventually, as you near the top of the hill, you spy a group of people, 10 of them, all of varied nationalities spilling out of a nearby cave. They are dressed in rags and carry a mix of swords and improvised weapons. "Who are you? Identify yourself," calls a Rosian man. "We're not pirates," you assure them. "We were prisoners like you. We slipped out of Captain Qiang's grasp and found your message in the camp." They look you over. Upon seeing your rags and shoddy equipment, they lower their weapons. One middle-aged man with a shock of blonde hair appears to be their leader. "I'm Tom Reimer, from Strongstone, originally," he says. "You must be tired. Come inside the shrine." If you have code C2, turn to this. Now, we actually do have code C2. We got that from capturing the pirates, I believe. 43. "Are these your prisoners?" asked Tom, looking at your pirate captives warily. "Yes," you admit. "We didn't have the heart to kill them." Tom nods. "Enough blood has been spilt upon this island. We'll keep them under guard for you. Eliza, Manfred, put them into the storeroom with the other 2 pirates." 2 guards break off and take your prisoners away. "You have your own prisoners, then?" "A handful of escapees from the massacre at the village. Come. We have much to discuss." Okay. We have 2 of our people left. Let me see. All right, friends, I think I'm going to pause there for right now. So I'm going to put item 76. That's where I'm ending. I'm going to pause right now simply because my voice is running out and I've been projecting for well over almost 2 hours now. So again, I'm just going to throw it up there. This is the game Legendary Kingdoms. Let me get it pulled up here so I can show you guys. There's the link in the chat. And it's a choose your own style adventure game. This is book 3, although you don't have to play them sequentially for it to make any sense. They're all individual. The one that I have played fully is the Valley of Bones, the first one, and it is quite cool. I highly recommend it. That's all. They're pretty cheap. You can buy a digital version, of course, and then just do everything by paper. But yeah, this is just the beginning of their newest one. The Kickstarter is going to be launching here in, I think, a week or two. And so, yeah, if you want to join in, I'll keep doing these. If you like these kinds of videos, please let me know. I would love to do them. They're fun. They're just super simple, and they're a fun little adventure. So thank you so much for watching and hanging out with me. I'll catch you next time.